everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea. It's nice to have you guys here. Today I have the first of what will be, I don't know, called something like the Freelance Diaries. I kind of see these as really chatty, casual, informal vlog style, kind of just sitting here at my desk or on my couch, whatever, just chatting about my experience of starting freelance. I've been wanting to film this video for quite a few weeks now, pretty much since the beginning of the new year, and I keep putting it off because I'm not sure how I want to film them, and I feel like I just need to sit down and start talking. So this video is going to kind of just chat you through everything from when I started last summer up to now and where I'm at now, and the feelings along the way. This is for my regular viewers who just want to know more about my freelance work and what it's been like, as well as for other freelancers who are maybe new to freelancing, are kind of in the same stage as me, and are looking for maybe validation for how they're feeling or just whatever. These are just going to be my raw, kind of unfiltered thoughts on being a freelancer and what it's been like. There will be more formal videos coming eventually on more specific topics, and if you have any requests for videos on being freelance, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to know what specific things some of you might be interested in. I'm still kind of brainstorming those. I know there will be some book reviews for some of the books that I've read that have helped me as I got started, and then some other kind of more specific topic videos as I can think of them. But yeah, so diving into just the journey so far. So I started preparing and planning and developing my freelance work in the summer of 2018. So I graduated with my PhD. For those who are new here, I graduated with my PhD in May of 2018. The same week as graduation, I was offered my full-time position as an instructor at my university. So I kind of knew I had that job, and I didn't really have to worry about a job search over the summer. So that was great. I was able to just full-time devote to researching, planning, preparing, and developing my freelance business. So the big things that I focused on in the summer was kind of just general research on freelancing. One of the books I read is called The Freelancer's Bible. I will try to put like an annotation of the full title and the author. I got it on Amazon. I got it for my Kindle, so that was great. I will do a full book review on that soon, because that book was really helpful. I also worked through a book called The Conquer Kit. I can also do a book review on that one. That was more of kind of thinking emotionally and psychologically about freelancing, about creating a business, having a creative business, who your ideal client is, that sort of thing. And so some of that was a little, I don't know, just a little new agey, kind of just not quite what I was looking for. But there were some really good exercises. It was a nice workbook, so I could write right into the book and keep that as a resource. And so there were some really great exercises in that definitely helped. So those were the two books that kind of got me started, and I would recommend them. So like I said, I will do book reviews coming soon, hopefully throughout this month, maybe one this month, one next month. Let me know in the comments if you would be interested. And yeah, that really helped. I also partnered up with a friend of mine who, her side hustle, if you will, is being a business coach and kind of a thought leader, and she's amazing and she's brilliant. It has been an absolute miracle having someone to talk to. I at least would recommend having some friend who understands and who you can bounce ideas off of and who you can talk to, who can maybe put themselves in the position of being a potential client, because just having someone to bounce ideas off of has been enormously helpful. So we worked together and started developing kind of a social media plan, which was mostly to put off social media for a little bit. The first thing we wanted to focus on, and we kind of went back and forth about this, do I, don't I, but ultimately we decided that I should start a website. I had started to feel around middle of summer of 2018 that I really did want to develop a website. I knew that I would have to do it myself because I wouldn't be able to hire someone, and I would rather do that during the summer when I was essentially on vacation than try to do it in the fall when I had my full-time job. My thought was basically, I don't have a lot of work going on in the summer. This is where I've got a lot of free time. Even though I don't necessarily need a website right away, I'd rather start building it when I don't need it and when I have the time to kind of do it slowly than get to a point where I feel like, oh my gosh, I need a website right now, and then I'm scrambling to throw something together. During the summer, and I think I had it done and live by August, AndreaJSeverson.com was built. I will put the link below, and I'm really happy with it. It's a Squarespace website. I really enjoyed working on Squarespace. The pricing is really good. So I guess a note on costs and investments, other than my website and my official email. So my professional email is Andrea@AndreaJSeverson.com. Those were the only two things I have invested in. I paid $50 for the email for a full year, so that will be renewed in May or June. I can't remember when I set it up. And then Squarespace. And so I've been paying about $14 a month for that. It is cheaper if you can pay the annual fee. You basically end up getting 1 month free, but I just didn't have that much money in one lump sum. So those are the two things that I have invested in from the outset. And I think those two things are important. So I think those two things combined, if I had done it all up front instead of the monthly payments, it would have been about $200, because I think the website was about $144 for the year, and then the email was $50. So not a whole lot of money. I think if you can afford to invest a couple $100 out the gate at the beginning to establish an email and establish a website, that would be really good. But other than that, there are tons of other great programs and software, but a lot of them cost. And so I haven't really been doing that. So like I'm still using the free version of Canva for graphic work. I use just basic templates in Word and Apple Pages for invoices and things like that. I am using Asana as a task manager and Toggle as a time manager, which is really great because it can tell you how much time you're spending, and if you're doing like billable hours, it's a good way to track those. And both of those have a free version or are free. I'm not paying anything to use those. I think there are premium features you can use. Canva is the same way. There is a premium feature, but so far with all of these, I've been fine with the free versions. There are programs that I am interested in. I've heard good things about Dubsado and Honeybook, but all of those cost from the beginning, or cost if you have like more than a few clients, which isn't quite an issue for me just yet. But yeah, so one day I might get into some of those, but for now I'm doing this. My idea is, the way that I'm kind of building my freelance business is, I'm not spending money on the business until I earn money from the business. So as I earn money, I can then take a percentage of that and invest it back into the business. So I'm not yet earning a lot. It was really slow going throughout the fall. It kind of took a back seat. Starting my full-time job really kind of knocked me sideways. It was all I could do to just keep up with that. So freelancing was not the priority. I had started an Instagram account for the freelance work. Right now I've decided my Twitter is kind of a good all-rounder. I use it for YouTube and my blog, but it also would work fine for my freelance work. So I haven't created a separate Twitter account, but I did create a separate Instagram account. So that is Andrea J. Severson on Instagram. I will have all of these links down below if you want to start following along on some of those. There is a blog on the website. My website blog has 2 posts up right now. So it has been a little bit of a struggle because I feel like I am spreading myself a bit thin, trying to have my YouTube channel, my primary Instagram account, my blog, but now also a freelance Instagram account, and I haven't really done anything in it for the last 4 or 5 months. I need to get back into posting on there. My Instagram strategy just kind of ran away from me. I think I just need to kind of rethink how I want to use that Instagram right now. I think for the moment, it's just going to be an extension of the freelance videos here on my YouTube channel. It's just going to be kind of more about me being a freelancer and using it less for trying to attract new clients, because I'm trying to tweak my approach for how I get clients. That will be a separate video at some point because I'm still figuring out how to attract clients. Through some kind of networking, I do have one client at this point, which I'm very grateful for, but I won't lie, it's been a struggle, and I am constantly filled with anxiety that I'm letting them down and I'm not giving them my best work because, again, the new semester has started and it's really, really difficult to have a freelance business on top of a full-time job. And that is something that I am still trying to figure out how to do that. That will probably be a topic for a future video. It's really difficult to feel like I can devote 100% to both my students and my full-time job as well as to my freelance work. And I know that that has been slowing me down in how fast I've been able to develop my freelance work. But I need this side job. So like it needs to work out. So I'm still figuring out how to maintain that balance. And I'm still looking for advice on how to do that. But I think if you are starting a freelance work or a freelance job or a side hustle or whatever you want to call it, when you have a full-time job as well, it is not easy. And there's other personal stuff going on in my life in terms of my physical and mental health that is definitely not making any of this easier. And I'm starting to get those things sorted out and kind of going in a better direction, but it has definitely been a struggle. And I think when you start some kind of side hustle, side job, freelance gig, it's easy to be really excited and really enthusiastic about it and then have reality kind of come knock you down a little bit because it's not as easy as you think it will be. And time-wise, I feel like I do have plenty of time in the week to do it, but also having a couple chronic illnesses, which are both flaring up at the moment, it's a part of me feels like it's not a good time to be doing this, but then the other part of me is like, well, it's never going to be a good time, so suck it up, buttercup, and figure it out. The fall was rough. Winter break, I managed to get a little bit of progress made, but now I'm just trying to get the work done and figure out how to fit that into my schedule. And the first month of this semester, so basically all of January, was really rough in terms of my physical health. And so that has been, I'm not gonna lie, a bit demoralizing, and defeating, just feeling like I'm a failure at this. And I think that's relatively common for new freelancers. Starting a business is not easy. And if you are in the process of starting one, whether it's a freelance business or something more solid and set in stone, when you're first starting out, it's really hard. It is not easy. It is not going to be easy. And you have to remind yourself that nothing worth having will be easy. You do have to work for these things. So I'm trying to be compassionate with myself. I think one thing that I have definitely learned in these first several months is the importance of niching down and really being picky about what type of client you pitch yourself to or try to work with. There can be this kind of panic feeling of, I'm willing to work for anyone and everyone, and I will do anything and everything to get my first client and to get that first job. But you have to really focus on what it is that you do best. What is it that you really want to do? Who is it that you really want to work with? And if other opportunities outside of those things come along, great, but it helps you know what the right kind of client is for you. And again, that can be a topic for a future video. Please give me requests in the comments of what would you like to hear about in terms of what I've been doing and what I've been struggling with, what I've been succeeding with. I want to talk more about this experience and doing freelance work, but I feel like as someone who's still less than a year into this process, there is so much to talk about, and there's so much that you kind of run into and are like, oh my gosh, I hadn't thought about that, or I hadn't thought about this, or yeah, so there's a lot. But that's basically what it's been like since last May, since I started. That's kind of from then up to now. I will do future videos, both these kind of freelance diary chat videos and more formal sit-down videos. Let me know requests, topics, ideas that you would like me to talk about. I would really, really appreciate that, because I feel like there's just so much that I could talk about. So give me some direction of what you would like and what would be helpful to you. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. I'd really appreciate that, especially if you have just found me because of this video. There is not that much freelance content up here just yet, but there will be. This year is going to be the year that I really try to get this going and make this something. So would love to have people following along on the journey, especially other freelancers, especially other academic freelancers, because I think that is a slightly different perspective to me as a freelancer. Having a PhD, having the educational experience that I have and the teaching experience that I have, I'm not your average freelance writer, if that makes sense. And I think every freelancer has something that makes them special and unique, so that's kind of mine. But I know that there are a lot of other grad students who follow me. I'm hoping that you guys will stay interested in this content, because as we all know, the academic job market is kind of a level of hell right now, and none of us quite know what our careers are going to be like. And so I feel like this is a direction that my non-traditional academic career is going to be going in. So it should be interesting. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling because I think I've said everything I can say for now. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. Chat to me in the comments, give me some feedback, give me some requests, all of that good stuff, and I will see you all soon in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye-bye.